Hey, it is Kenny from Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my channel. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 topics that really doesn't sit right with me in terms of the way reissue record companies or record manufacturers handle their business. I'm going to get into that in this video. Some things that I think are areas, at least areas of improvement, at least on my mind. And please leave yours in the comment section below. Like I said, I'm gonna cover 5. Actually, it's really 4. And one of them, I know a lot of you in the VC, a lot of you in the vinyl community have a problem with this one. And I'm gonna get into the 5. The first one's not technically part of my list, but I thought I'd add it anyway. And the first one, I'm going to really gloss on it as quickly as I can because I've dealt with this in other videos. And that is the issue with pricing. A lot of you out there in the VC and vinyl community have an issue with some of these high-priced record sets, especially, some of these UHQRs or even some of these $60 45 RPM sets. A lot of you have a problem with the price points of these sets. And I'm just going to touch on it briefly. Like I said, I've mentioned this in other videos. The prices really do not bother me. As I said in other videos, if the prices are too high, they're just not going to get my business, and I keep on moving. I just ignore it. I can't buy everything. Just like with, cars, audio equipment, watches. There's some things I can afford, some things I can't afford, and I ignore the things I can't afford. I realize that these record manufacturers or reissue companies are in it to make a profit, a fair and reasonable profit, and that doesn't bother me. I know if I was running a company and you out there watching this video, if you were running a company, you would do what you could to maximize your profits. I know you think you would say, oh, I do this and have really great prices for the to service the audiophile community, but when it's your money on the line, you might shift your way of thinking from what it is now and thinking that these record prices are too high. It's their business. They can charge what they want to charge, and they have the right to turn in the other direction and say no. So from that perspective, record prices do not bother me. They never have. As I said in another video, records are not essential to daily living like gas, the price of food, the price of housing. So from that perspective, I don't take record prices that seriously. Like I said, if they're too high, I ignore them, and I keep on stepping. I move on. Another one on my list is some of these reissue companies or record people reissue these records. They do not reveal the source material used to in the process of mastering these new issues. And a lot of you may say, well, people were just really into the music, that doesn't matter. And that's definitely true. But there's a lot of audiophiles buying, and record collectors, serious record collectors, buying a wide variety of records. They can be from Walmart, from Target, Amazon, Analog Productions, Acoustic Sounds, MoFi, Craft Recording, so on and so forth. And a lot of people in the audiophile community are really interested in the source material of these recordings, whether it's from a digital source or analog source. Was there DSDUs in the manufacturing chain, mastering chains of these recordings? That means a lot to some of these audiophiles. And I think it's just a simple matter of just printing it on the cover, so a lot of record collectors can see, and audiophiles, what is the source of these reissue records? What did where did the source come from, whether it's digital or analog? And to a lesser degree, it'd be cool if they put the mastering engineer on the cover as well. That means a lot to some audiophiles as well. And a lot of these records and reissue companies actually don't publish that, at least on the records themselves. Another issue I have, and you may think this is somewhat petty, but I do not, and it is the use of these paper sleeves. I think, again, there's enough audiophiles and record collectors buying records that they're beyond that. They're beyond that. My son, and I mentioned this in another video as well, was kind enough to purchase this Beyonce record for me. This is her latest record, the Renaissance record. And this record originally came in these paper or light cardboard sleeves. And some of these sleeves are almost the equivalent, depending how you move the record in and out of the sleeve, they're almost the equivalent of very fine sandpaper, whereas all they have to do is put them in a higher grade sleeve to protect the records when they're moving in and out of the sleeve. It's a shame that the amount of people that people pay for records, and reissue companies or record manufacturers cannot take the extra step and do that. And the same thing applies with CDs. This is the Spanking Our Game reissue set that came out several years ago. And this one, I don't know how you want. Well, you see, you slide the records in and out the sides. And that's more apt to creating scratches on the CDs, and you have to meticulously be careful when you're taking it out, in and out of those sleeves. I think MoFi does it right. They have these covers as well, but I'll show you that if I can get this out. They put theirs in the inner sleeve, and I think if you're going to do CDs, that's the way to do it, in my opinion. So the use of these sleeves, they can use a higher grade audiophile sleeves. These record manufacturers and reissue companies. That's just a personal opinion. Here's another issue I have. A lot of reissue companies, and I think in particular Mobile Fidelity, MoFi, they'll have a pre-order up for sale with no release date in sight, no time frame when it's going to be released. If you go to MoFi's website, there's several of their one-step records that have pre-orders, but they don't give a pre-order date of when it's going to be released. You don't know if it's going to be. This is 2023 as of the posting of this video. You don't know if that record set is going to be released in 2024 or 2025. So before you put your credit card information or your debit card information on those websites, it'd be cool if they can give you an approximate time frame of when they're going to be released. I think that's a proper thing to do. I know Chad Cassom at Analog Productions Acoustic Sounds on the Atlantic 75 record reissue series, he said it's going to be a 3-year process. But at least he's honest. He gives you a time frame, so it's not a guessing game. So I'm even cool with that. Even if you give us an approximate time frame, I'm fine. But give us something instead of just putting a record on your website for pre-order with no time frame in which you're going to receive that record or when it's going to be issued. I think some of these reissue companies can do a better job of narrowing down the release dates of some of these issues, especially if they're taking your credit card information up front. And the last one is the use of the term limited edition. There's some, I'll give you an example. For example, this one. This amazing sounding Reduke record that was on M&K Real-Time Records. Now this states on here, I don't know if you can see it, limited edition. But they do not tell you what it is limited to, what amount it is limited to. They don't tell you if it's limited to how many they can sell over the longest period of time they can, and is it really quote unquote a true limited edition? Like for example, again, there's a UHQR of Pretzel Logic, and on this record, I don't think you can see it in lighting, but there's a number stamped on the record. And they also publish how many they're going to press. To me, this is a true limited edition. This right here, in my mind, it's not a true limited edition because it's not numbered, and the amount that they press, at least to my knowledge of that particular one, and several other issues over the years and decades, they do not publish the amount of copies that they pressed But like I said, maybe that information is available at, elsewhere, but they should make it public on the cover itself. So those to me are really true limited edition records. But those are a few things. 4 plus 1. The one is the record pricing, which is not really an issue with me. Those are a few issues that I have with reissue companies and record manufacturers. But please mention yours in the comment section below if you have any issues, and it'd be interesting to hear yours. But thank you very much for viewing my video. As always, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. God bless, strong love, and peace to all worldwide.